Imagine for a second that you're the CEO of a company worth over $4 trillion. You're managing thousands of employees, writing keynote speeches all the time, and you're leading a company that builds the chips powering most of today's AI systems. And you still need to get your own work done. How would you do it? Well, that's what I asked myself. So over the last 2 days, I've been scrubbing the internet to figure out how NVIDIA's CEO uses AI to boost his productivity. And I found some fascinating tactics. So in the next few minutes, I'll show you everything I discovered about how Jensen Huang uses AI. From how he writes and prompts better, to how he picks the right tools and even uses AI to become a better professional. So let's start with improving your writing, something every leader struggles with. At a Wired event in January 2025, Huang revealed his exact workflow for preparing speeches and presentations. Huang said, "I give it a basic outline, give it some PDFs of my previous talks, and I get it to write my first draft. It's really fantastic." So let's break down his process. Step 1. He creates a basic outline of what he wants to say. Rough outlines, specific themes, and the relevant cadence of what he wants to discuss. Step 2. He uploads transcripts of his previous talks to give the AI his voice and style. Now, these can be from recordings or even previously written speeches using AI as well. Step 3. He lets AI tools like ChatGPT or Google's Gemini generate the first draft. Now, here's what's smart about this. He's not asking AI to do the thinking. He's using it to speed up execution. The ideas are his, the strategy is his, but instead of staring at a blank page, he's editing a first draft. And this is the foundation, using AI to handle the heavy lifting of writing so you can focus on refining and perfecting your message. 2. Prompting AI properly. But here's the thing, getting good results from AI isn't automatic. You need to know how to ask. In his interview on the Huge Conversations podcast with Cleo Abram in January 2025, Huang explained his philosophy on this.
Learning how to interact with AI is not unlike being someone who is really good at asking questions. And prompting AI is very, very similar. You can't just randomly ask a bunch of questions. And so asking AI to be an assistant to you would require some expertise and artistry in how to prompt it.
So think about it like this. If someone asked you, "Tell me about your business," you'd be a bit confused. It's a little bit vague. But if they asked, "Can you explain the first steps to launching an online retail business?" well, now you can give a more pointed answer. And the more details you give, the more your AI tool has to work with to help you. And this is why Huang emphasizes that prompting is a skill you need to develop. It's all about knowing how to communicate with it effectively. And in that same interview, Huang said that if he was studying today, the first thing he'd do is learn to interact with AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini Pro, and Grok.
If I were a student today, irrespective of whether it's for math or for science or chemistry or biology, or it doesn't matter what field of science I'm going to go into or what profession I am, I'm going to ask myself, how can I use AI to do my job better?
And that's the mindset shift that Huang is advocating. Once you understand how to prompt effectively, you can start getting more strategic about which tools you want to use. 3. Using different AIs for different types of tasks. Now, here's where Huang's approach gets more sophisticated. He doesn't stick to just one AI tool. In this article, Huang uses multiple AI platforms, ChatGPT, Google's Gemini, and others, and he's experimenting with different tools depending on the task. Now, this might seem unnecessary at first. Why not just pick one? But here's why it matters. Each of these platforms has different strengths for different tasks. ChatGPT tends to excel at conversational, natural-sounding content and brainstorming. And if you need to generate ideas quickly or write something that sounds human and engaging, ChatGPT is often the go-to. Claude is often preferred for longer-form writing and maintaining context over extended documents. So if you're working on a detailed report or you need the AI to remember information across a lengthy conversation, Claude shines. Gemini integrates well with Google's ecosystem and can pull from Google's search data. And this makes it powerful for research-heavy tasks for when you need current information. The point is, Huang isn't married to one tool. He's treating AI platforms like tools in a toolbox. And by experimenting with different platforms, he figures out which one gives him the best results for each specific task. He's strategically choosing which AI to use and when. Number 4, comparing multiple AIs to each other. Now, Huang takes the multi-platform approach even further with a technique that most people never even think to use. In an interview from August 2025, Huang reveals something fascinating. He said, "I asked the same question of multiple AIs, and I asked them to compare each other's notes and then give me the best of all the answers." Think about it like getting a second medical opinion. You wouldn't just trust one doctor for a serious diagnosis, would you? Well, Huang applies the same principle to AI. And here's how you can do this yourself. Step 1. Ask your question to ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini separately. Step 2. Take all 3 responses and feed them back into one AI. Step 3. Ask it to compare the answers and synthesize the best response. Now, this isn't about doubting AI. It's about leveraging different AI models' strengths to get more comprehensive, well-rounded answers. Each AI might catch something the others missed. One might provide more detail, another might offer a different perspective, and a third might structure the answer more clearly for you. By having them compare and synthesize, you're essentially creating a super answer that combines the best of all 3 approaches. This is an advanced move, but it shows how Huang thinks about AI. It's not as a single tool, but as an ecosystem of tools that work together. Number 5, using AI as a continuous tutor. Now, what does he mean by this? He's not just talking about using AI for one-off questions. He's talking about using AI as a continuous learning companion that evolves with you over time. And the advantage? Well, AI remembers your conversations within a thread. So if you're working on a project over multiple sessions, ChatGPT or Claude can recall what you discussed before and build on that context. It's like working with someone who's known you for years. They understand your style, your preferences, your goals, and the longer you work with it, the better it gets at anticipating what you need. This is the culmination of everything that we've talked about: improving your writing, prompting effectively, choosing the right tools, comparing answers, and now building a continuous relationship with AI that makes you better over time. Huang isn't just using AI as a tool, he's using it as a long-term learning partner that helps him grow and improve every single day. Now, what makes Huang's perspective really valuable is he's not just using AI as it exists now, but he's building the hardware that will power the next generation of AI, which means he has a front row seat to what's coming next. And his predictions, well, they're both exciting and a little bit mind-bending. In August 2025, during an interview, Huang predicted that AI might bring about 4-day work weeks. His reasoning? Well, every industrial revolution leads to some change in social behavior. Now, according to this article, Huang pointed out that when modern capitalism emerged, work weeks shifted from 7 days to 6, then 6 days to 5. And he believes AI could trigger the next shift. But, and this is important, he also said, "I have to admit that I'm afraid to say we are going to be busier in the future than now." So his prediction isn't about working less total, it's about getting more done in less time, then using that productivity to pursue more ideas. Huang also discussed the future of AI agents, and these are not to be confused with chatbots. These are intelligent systems that can collect data from multiple AI models, reason through complex problems, and execute more sophisticated tasks. And he gave an example: an AI research agent that could create a podcast from scratch, incorporating lectures, journals, and financial earnings on any industry of choice. Now, this shows how an AI agent can work independently, as opposed to a chatbot which is reacting to prompts. So any individual human could have any number of AI agents working for them. They could be working the exact same way and executing the exact tasks that are programmed by that human. Now, here's Huang's most technical prediction about the future. Recently, he discussed reasoning models, AI that thinks through problems step by step before answering. In a recent interview, he explained, when you turn on Grace Blackwell, that's NVIDIA's chip architecture, it's 40 times faster. And let's say the next click is another 40 times faster. And the models are getting better. So the idea that between now and 5 years from now that we could be 100,000 times faster for agentic models is very sensible to me. 100,000 times faster in 5 years. So what does that mean practically? AI that appears to think slowly today will process so fast that you won't even see it happening. It'll just give you the answer. And in the same interview, Huang put it this way: it just thought about a mountain of things. You just didn't see it. It's a fast thinker now. Even slow thinking is fast. Huang isn't using AI to replace his thinking, he's using it to amplify his execution. But here's the thing, maybe you're watching this thinking, okay, this all sounds great, I want to use AI to do better at my job, but where do I actually start? Which tools should I use? How do I even begin? Well, in this video, I break down 19 of the handiest AI tools we use here at Supercut to make our team more productive and organize ourselves better.